A very good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar session. SNA Oushadhasala stands as one of Kerala's most respected Ayurvedic institutions, founded in the year 1920 by Ashtavaidyan Trishur Thaikad Unnimooss, carrying forward a legacy that spans centuries. Rooted in the rich heritage of royal physicians to the Zamorin of Kolkot and the King of Cochin, SNA beautifully blends timeless Ayurvedic wisdom with modern scientific advancements. Over the decades, SNA has earned the trust of eminent personalities across India and around the globe. Today, its high-quality Ayurvedic formulations are widely available across the country and exported internationally. With NABH-accredited healthcare services, advanced manufacturing facilities, and a robust academic wing through the Unnimooss Foundation, SNA continues to shape the future of Ayurveda, training professionals worldwide and fostering global collaborations. Recognized with Z Silver certification from the Ministry of MSME, prestigious Industrial Safety Award by Factories and Boilers, and as a proud member of the Ayush Export Promotion Council, SNA remains deeply committed to the excellence, authenticity, and global outreach. Through Oushadha Sameeksha, a monthly webinar series which intended to provide academic and clinical reviews on a specified drug in Ayurveda, SNA Oushadhasala brings you a dynamic platform that integrates classical Ayurvedic wisdom, clinical insights, and modern scientific perspectives, enabling meaningful discussions and knowledge exchange. In today's session, we explore the theme Guduchi or Amruth. A warm and cordial welcome to all respected doctors, academicians, and participants joining us today. I'm Sridevi Raman, Sales Manager outside Kerala, and I'm honored to be your host for this session. To formally begin with the program, may I invite Mr. Raman Mundanat, General Manager, Marketing of SNA Oushadhasala, to deliver the introduction and welcome note. So please.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed practitioners, scholars of Ayurveda, and dear participants. It's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to today's session of Oushadha Sameeksha, our monthly Ayurveda seminar series, jointly organized by SNA Oushadhasala Private Limited and Unnimooss Foundation. Today's theme, Guduchi, that is Amruth, from Dravya to Yoga, bridging classical wisdom and clinical practice, is highly relevant in the current context. Guduchi is a widely used herb in many classical preparations. Through this webinar, we aim to explore the journey of a medical substance from its identification and classification in classical understanding to its clinical applications and therapeutic relevance. We are honored to have with us two distinguished experts, Professor Dr. Ajayan Sadanandan, an eminent Ayurvedic pharmacologist and ethnomedico-botanist, and Dr. Jithesh, a respected academician and expert in Rasasasthra. I welcome both of them to this seminar. Their insights will surely help us gain clarity on both classical concepts and practical application. I'm confident that today's session will be highly informative and thought-provoking for all participants. Once again, I welcome you all and wish a meaningful and engaging learning experience. Thank you.
Madam, mute on, madam.
Please
unmute.
Sridevi, please unmute.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the warm address. We now move into first academic session, Dravya Sameeksha, focusing on a comprehensive understanding of Guduchi or Amruth from its identification to clinical relevance and sustainability. It is a privilege to introduce Professor Dr. Ajayan Sadanandan, who is an eminent Ayurvedic pharmacologist, ethnomedical botanist, and clinical practitioner with over 2 decades of experience. A specialist in Dravyaguna Vijnanam, he seamlessly integrates classical Ayurvedic knowledge with modern botanical science, ecological conservation, and public health. He serves as Emeritus Professor at Global University, Uttar Pradesh, Visiting Professor at Kerala University of Health Sciences, Director of AMMA Medical Plant Academy, Trivandrum, Consultant Scientist, Hortus Malabaricus Botanical Garden and Research Center, etc. His remarkable contributions include documentation of over 1,200 medical plant species, leading immersive field programs like Aranyakam, Oushadha Vijnanam, Dravya Prabodhanam, etc., advancing Vrikshayurveda-based ecological restoration programs. Today, in this webinar, he will share insights on identification and authentications, classical perspectives, controversies and substitutes, adulteration and quality concerns, market dynamics and sustainability of our theme drug Guduchi. Let us now invite Professor Dr. Ajayan Sadanandan. Sir, please.
Namaste. Thank you all. So, respected Sridevi Madam, respected Raman Sir, and respected Jithesh Sir, and all the SNA family members, and all doctors and scholars who are present here. So, it's a great attempt to maybe some network viewableness is there. So I will off the video, and whenever it is needed on the discussion part, I will come. So it's a great attempt to describe each plant's its specific importance and its scientific way of how Ayurveda is find out these drugs and utilizing in the present era is very important, because from the society and every part of the world there will be so much questions are rising that how a plant has to be identified in Ayurvedic way and how we are using is in a systematic manner. Is it has having any toxicity or like that? So Ayurveda is a science that is discussing about the starting of an invention of a plant source for its medicinal value and how it has to be practiced in a very detail. So with that way, how our Ajaryas are looked in these plants for their identification and how they documented and presented to us in the present day's utility that we are going to see in this Oushadha Sameeksha. So it's a great attempt by SNA Oushadhasala and by my dear, the great respected Vasudevan Muscheta and Dr. Nambi Narayan. So with all respect, we can start with this section, Oushadha Sameeksha, about the Guduchi or Amruth. Guruve O Sadguruve Namaha O Prapancha Shakyaya Namaha. Dears, when we are discussing about Ayurvedic drugs, two drugs very specifically mentioned by our Ajaryas regarding their origin, how it is originated. One is Haridaki and another is Amruth. So Bhavaprakash Nikandu is discussing about how this Amruth is originated in the earth. So we know this story that in the Mahabharata, when there will be a fighting between Ravana along with the Asuras and these Vanaras. Then the Vanaras, so many persons has fall down and they become unconscious and some of them are died. So to rescue them and to regain their health and consciousness, Rama has prayed and Indra has sprinkled the nectar, Amruta, to the body of these. So while the sprinkling on the earth, whatever the droplets which fall down on the land will turn into Amruta. So this seems to be a mere story, but it indicates that how its capacity to regain the strength or regain the life and to maintain the life in a good form. So to highlighting this story has came. So because of that, its importance similar to that of a nectar. It is originated from the nectar. So it possesses so much of qualities similar to nectar. To stabilize the body, to maintain the body, and to help in the life preservation. So Amrita, Amrita Sambhava, Soma, Somavalli, Somal, Lediga, Surakrida, Deva Nirmida, all the synonyms came in that way. So whenever your patients or someone needs such a type of nectar that can preserve their life, we will depend upon this plant. And some other synonyms also Acharyas are told. Amritavalli, Amritavallari, Tandriga. So it's clearly indicated that it is a plant which is a climber. And it is a rope-like climber. How it is climbing? Like Kundali Mandali. Like that, a clockwise direction as a snake is crawling to something. Like that it is. So the synonyms is clearly indicated towards a plant which is in a climber nature and it is climbing in a clockwise directions. And some other synonyms are there that it is Chinna, Chinnaruha, Chinnotpava, Chinnangi. So if you cut a small stem, cut, and it is kept somewhere, when the favorable condition is occurring, the plant will give rise to a new plant. So like that you are seeing here. So there are so many small strings are coming, like tantras. So these are the adventitious roots it's coming. So it's the roots which has the capacity to take the atmosphere, water, and can do the respiration and can do the photosynthesis. So because of that, without the leaves also, this has the capacity to grow from a small bit of plant. So again, this plant shows a regenerative capacity in the natural habitats. Same way, if we consume also, it can be a very good medicine to regenerate our body. So another one of the important synonym that is mentioned by our Acharya is Chakralakshana, Chakralakshani, Chakralakshanika. So when you cut open the plant, you can see that a wheel-like appearance inside. So there will be a middle pith and vascular bundles are arranged in the form of a wheel-like appearance. So this indicates that not only in the morphological, external morphology, they are gone through the internal morphology and the analysis of this plant. And another synonym is Mathuparni, Mathuparnika. So if you take the juice of these leaves, it will be consistently similar to that of honey. And it is liked by cows. So it's Vatsadani. So the leaves are, especially the tender leaves, are not having that much of bitterness. So it is mentioned as a very good fodder to animals also. So these synonyms are showing that they observed the internal structure and at the same time they observed that this is fed by the cows. So this is the one of the important observation that the animals are eating, especially the mammals and the domestic animals are eating, and they are getting the strength and they are promoting a good amount of feces and urine. This indicates that this is a safe medicine. So they are analyzed in a very systematic manner. That's why we can see that today also, if you look into the synonyms and try to correlate this with a plant which is using nowadays, that is nothing but the similar plant that mentioned by our Acharyas. So here, one more thing is, these types of experimental observations of plants feeded by the animals helps to know about the importance of this plant and how we can rule out the toxic is present or not, especially the domestic animals. So like that, with these, we can confirm that with these synonyms, it's all suiting to the presently using the Amruda Tinospora cordifolia belonging to the Menispermines. With it, if you go to the pharmacological and therapeutic synonyms, it showed that there are so many therapeutic synonyms are attributed. Jwaranashini, Jwarari, Rasayani, Vishalya, Jivanti, Vayastya, Guduchi, Vishakpriya. All these are attributed to its pharmacological action diets to remove the fever. It is a very good rasayana. It can remove the unwanted toxins, a Vishakna. Jivanti, it can promote the life. Vayastha, it can maintain the youthfulness and it protects the body. That's why it's Guduchi. And it is very much liked by the physicians because it is having a multi-dimensional therapeutic utility. When you give this to the patients, it will show surely the results. So like that, if you go through our ganas, there are plenty of ganas are mentioned by our acharyas. That includes Guduchi as one of the important things. Especially when you look into Charaka Samhita, you can see that Vayasthavana, Daha Prashmana, Trishna Nigrahana, Triptikna, Sthanya Shodhana, Sandhaniya. All these ganas it is coming. So it indicates that it is a very important drug having a multi-dimensional pharmacological activity. So Srutacharyas are included in Guduchi, Padoladi, Valli Panchamulam, Kagulyadi, Aragudadi. Ashtangrade also you can see that Guduchi, Padoladi. So in the Samhitas time, it is one of the important medicine that is used for multi-dimensional pharmacological activities. In Nikandu's period, even Vargas are started with this Guduchi one. So big Vargas are named in the term of Guduchi because Guduchi is such a leading drug. So Guduchi Varga by Bhavapragasha, Dhanvantari Nikandu and Raja Nikandu are telling about its importance. Especially Bhavapragasha Nikandu, a very detailed descriptions about how it is origin and what the dimension of actions are mentioned. Like that, when you go through these Nikandus, all acharyas are mentioned that it is having a Tikta Kashaya Kadurasa. Especially it is a predominant with the Tikta Rasa. And Guna is Guru Snigdha. Virya is Ushna. And Vipaka is Mudira. And considered to be a best Tridoshakra. So here, the leading is the Tikta Rasa is the thing. With the Guru Snigdha Guna and Ushna. So if you see that, Tikta Rasa, Vayu Akasha Guna Bahulyam Tiktaha. So Tikta Rasa is made up of Vayu and Akasha. Especially the Akasha Guna is the very predominant. And this will be a very good, Tikta Rasa is a very good for Shamanam also. Na Shodhedi, na Dveshedi, Samanna Doshas Uddhirata, Samikaravudi Vishamam Tathamrita. So in Sharangra Samhita, the example is given is, this is one of the best drug that can do a shamanam. So it pacifies the doshas from the seeds itself. How it is possible? Because of its very light physical qualities that is present, that is Vayu Akasha. So these are the two important things that can reach to any Sushma Tattva. So even if it is a Guru Snigdha therapy also, its capacity to reach these areas to all the minute channels is possible because of it's Akasha and Vayuguna. So here we can know that this is a Dravya, a drug which is formed by very minute complexity formation of Panchapaudika with Akasha Vayu along with Guru Snitha, that is Prathya qualities. And it is having an Ushna, Tejas is there. But once it is in contact with our Agni and biotransformation is taken place, the end it will be showing a Rasayana quality, that it is building up and making our body in a good rejuvenative form. Because of that, it is a Madhura Vibhaga. It helps in the proper Srishta Venmutra. It will help to evacuate the Venmutra and balance the body. So this is a very important Dravya, which is a Vijitra Pratyartha Dravya. So the rasa is different. It is not chronologically suiting to the guna, and it is not suiting to the virya, and it is not suiting. So such a diverse Panchabodhika combination is there in a Dravya, then it can having a multi-pharmacological activities. Especially with such a type of Akasha Tattva and Vayu Tattva, along with the Ushna Tattva, it can reach to any minute channels of our body. So wherever there will be a Sangha or a Siragrandhi or an Adipravarti, in such type of Srodho Dushtis, this drug can act, especially in Ubalebas and all these conditions. So with this, we can go through what are the important pharmacological actions and where we can see these drugs actions. Charakajarya has highlighted this drug in the Agre Prakarana. Acharya told that Sangrahiga, Vadahara, Deepaniya, Sleshma Shonita Vipanta Prashmanana. It is one of the best drug that can do the Sangrahi, Vadahara, Deepaniya, and Sleshma Shonita Vipanta Prashmanana. Again, Sangrahi means what? Sangrahanatvam. Somewhere there will be an excessive secretions or excessive movement is there. It has to be held on the proper way. So wherever there will be more Saraguna or more Chalatva will be there, it has to be prevented. Then Vadahara, Deepaniya, it can ignite the Agni. And Sleshma Shonita Vipanta Prashmanam. Wherever the Kapha and Rakta is involved and it is having a proper Sangha is occurring or any obstruction is occurring, this is one of the drug of choice. And it is having a very good Kapha Vadakna along with the Pitta Shama. And Medho Vishosham, it is one of the very good Medho Vishoshani and Raktavada Prashmani. It is specifically indicated for Raktavada. With all these pharmacological properties, it is doing a very good Rasayanam and Vayasthanam. So this is the very important pharmacological activity that is needed in different parts of our body. Sangrahiga, it is needed in our Amashya. It is needed in our respiratory system. It is needed in any joints or any inflammation where there will be excessive secretions or kapha is more coming. And Vadaharato. So all these are needed in different places. And in spite of this also, it is considered to be one of the very good Medhya Rasayana. Charakajarya mentioned as in Swarasa form, and in Ashtangridaya also it is mentioned. So like that, if you are seeing, consolidating all the karmas that it's in the Vivan form, it is a Jwarahara, Chardinashini, Amanashini, Pandunashini, Kamalahara, Arshakna, Pramekna. All these areas it is coming. So this shows that this Dravya is having a Srodho Pratenigatva towards Rasavaga Srodhas and Annavaga Srodhas. Especially, it is a very important Dravya in Rasavaga Srodho Vigaras like Jwara, Chardi, Ama, Pandu and Annavaga also. Same way, if you see Pitta Medho Vishoshani, Raktavada Prashmani, Raktavadahara, Vadasrikara, Kanduknam, Visarpaknam, Kushtaknam, Krimiknam, all are coming in the Bakhiroga Marga, where there will be involvement of Rasa, Rakta, and Mamsa. So here, again, this Raktavasrodhas has having a very important affinity with this. Especially Raktavasrodhas Upadadu is Sira and Kantara. So the diseases and the lakshanas which is occurring in the Sira and Kandara also, this drug is a very important choice. That's why we can see the extensive uses of this drug in Kushta, Visarpa, and in Raktavada-like conditions or Vadarakta-like conditions. Another important is Udavaga Srotas. So in the starting itself, we saw that Charagacharya mentioned it is a Trishna Nigrahanam. So it's having a very important in Trishna Nashini, Daha Prashmani, and Pramagara. So it is a very important drug in Udavaga Sroda Vigara also. So overall, if you are considering, this drug is having Rasavaga Srodas, Raktavaga Srodas, Udavaga Srodas. The Drava Swabhava of the things in our body. It may be in the form of Udaga or in the form of Rakta or in the Rasa. This plays a very important role. Some of the other pharmacological properties like Balya, Ayushya, Pradha, Medya, Chashushya, Pudakini, and in Pranavas, Rodas, Kasakna, these all, Shosakna, all those things. And along with that, it is one of the important Sandhaniya Dravya. So it can bind and heal the structures. So wherever there will be a soft tissues injuries or a Rakta the small arteries, or there will be a microcirculation is hampered, or Rakta and Rasasasthra problems, this will be very important. So overall, if you are seeing, it is one of the important drug in Vyana Vayu related disorders. Because the important function of Vyana Vayu is Gati, Chankramana. So wherever there will be a stagnations or excessive movement of the fluid materials that is in the form of a rasa or rakta, udaga, this will play a very important role. So if you analyze the next section, Jithesh sir will tell about the important other actions. So you can see that how Acharyas are specifically include this drug in that areas. Wherever there will be an inflammatory stage that occurring on these particular srodasas. So we can say that Guduchi is a specific drug which is having a very important Sroda Pratyanigatva in Rasavaga Srodas, Raktavaga Srodas, and Udavaga Srodas, along with the Pranavaga Srodas involvements, especially in an inflammatory like stages. Because what will happening in the inflammation? Inflammation, there will be so much of secretions will increase. Srava will be there. And there will be a heat also will be there. To reduce the pitta and to reduce the sravas, it is very important to look on a dravya called as Sangrahi property dravya with a Dibaniya quality and vada. That's why Amruta is specifically on these inflammatory conditions of our body. With this, if you are see that the modern chemical studies are showing, it is a very important drug which is having a plenty of compounds. Every 3 or 6 months, new compound is invented. 23 compounds are invented till now. Diterpenoids are the most important groups, which is having a lot of bitter principles and biological activities. And alkaloids such as berberin, magnoflorin. So these compounds are berberin, we know it's in the Daruvaridala like also. So these are the compounds which are having an anti-diabetic properties also. And some of the compounds like syringine, phenylpropanoids, these are high molecular weight. So see our Acharya's inventions of Guru Sniktha. So it is heavy in and contains compounds like cordyfolicides A, B, C, D. All are having an immunomodulatory activity. So wherever there will be an immune response is high and the body is extremely reacting to that immune systems and inflammation is becoming very common, then we have to go to these things. And some of the steroid compounds are also present. And this shows that pharmacological actions like immunomodulatory activity is one of the important thing. Immunomodulatory activity in different levels. Immunomodulatory activity in the macrophagic activation level in the lymphatic tissues. Immunomodulatory activity in the blood area. Immunomodulatory activity in the liver and spleen. All these are proved by the modern pharmacological studies. Hepatoprotectivity, antioxidants, and other potentials like antipyretic and all these things. So many studies are available. So another important thing is Dinospora cordifolia possesses a significant antagonistic activity against autocoids. So this is one of the emerging area and a very important area for our drugs pharmacological illustrations. These autocoids are local hormones like histamines or serotonins. Autocoids are produced by each cells. Two ways it's producing. One on the hormonal level and another on the chemical levels. So actually, whenever there will be some irritation is occurring in our body, and our body will react. If this reaction is over and the body will not able to suppress, it will become an allergic problem. So what the modern peoples are telling means these are due to such type of increasing of histamine or serotonin like that. So blocking and managing these excessive secretions of this is very important. So that's why sometimes if there will be a cytokine storm or something is happening and more inflammation is taking place to reduce that cytokine regulation, this drug is showing a very good activity. And especially enzyme modulatory things. And in allergies, various allergies. So that's why so many modern theories also illustrating that this can be useful for various types of these problems. And this has to be illustrated not only in the form of a chemical compounds, but also for the compounds that can stimulate it in the hormonal levels also. So this autocoid theory is telling about a balancing of the things. The histamines are needed, same way in antihistamines are needed. If it is in a balanced form, the body will be in a good stage. So this will help in such type of balancing. So now we have to look into, there are plenty of qualities are there. Is it what the real plant we are using or not? So here you are seeing a Guduchi, which is having so much of hairs and the veins and veinlets are very predominant. So here you can see that. So these are very marked in nature. So these types of hairs and these types of roughness indicate that there are plenty of activity of Tejas and Vayu is there. Because these roughness are occurring due to Vayu. Excessive growth are occurring due to Tejas. So this is a drug which is having a more activity of Vayu and Tejas. So this is one of the source in and around us we are seeing. This first one is another leaf you are seeing. Second is another variety. So in this first one, you are seeing the base is very shallow and it is entire margin and it is not that much of prominent veins and veinlets it's there. But it is having a small snigdhatva. Apex is very much less. But here you can see that the apex is long and this shallowness is not there, but the veins and veinlets are. So where there will be sira of a patra is so much of predominant and these apexes are growing, accumulate, then that indicate that this is having a more activity of Tejas. Because Tejo Parigrahanadivashat, this is all Dirkha Vritta Tiriyak, all these are occurring, the multidimensional Agrati is occurring because of this. So in the first slide, this leaf is also showing excessive of Vayu Tejas activity. And the second leaf is showing the predominance of Prithvi Tattva with these Agrati and round shapes. The third again showing the excessive of Vayu and Tejas like that. Then we come to this. So this is the one leaf. This is another leaf and third leaf. So these are the present three sources available in the name of Amruta. In the market, not in the Vaidyas. So when you see, you can see that this is one of the balanced leaves which is having a Prithvi Tattva balance with Tejas and Agni. But here the second Tinospora malabarica or Tinospora crispa is not at all that much of good. So see here, when the leaves are dry, this is Tinospora cordifolia and this is Tinospora crispa. And the leaves will be falling down, still the petiole is attached to this. And when the leaf is dried also, the leaf is not shrunken and the petiole is not detached. But in this crispa, what you see, this petiole is detached and it is become round. So this shows that this is having so much of Vayu predominance. But here the Prithvi Adhisthana is there. That's why Tinospora cordifolia is one of the important drug that invented by our Ajaryas. So these are the drugs which is having more Vayu Tattva is predominant in that. If more Vayu is there, more Rukshatva it will produce. And we can go to the stems. If you see the stem of this, it is having expollination and a little, some of the lenticels you can see. But you can see this stem, there will be hairs are present and dispersed these things will be there. But if you see this, plenty of these are there. So the first one is having less balanced of these things. So this is the Tinospora cordifolia. This is the Tinospora malabarica or sinensis, which is again this Tejas is more or Vayu is more. Here we can see that very predominant of Vayu and Tejas is more. So these two one, the second one and third one has not at all that much fruit. This is the dried stem. Here also you can see that crispas having plenty of such type of outgrowths. But here such type of outgrowths are less. And when you take the cross section, you can see that how it will be. So when you count the vascular bundles, so this is the Tinospora cordifolia, only 30, but here 60. In the Tinospora malabarica also, it is more. So this shows that more division is always resulting in Tejas. So more activity of Tejas is there. So that much of these things are not at all necessary for our body. That's why our Ajaryas are selected Tinospora cordifolia as the important. So these are the flowers. So the male and female plants are different. And the female inflorescence always will be compact like this, but the male inflorescence will be long, and on that the fruits will not occur. The fruits will be like this. And it is considered to be Vrishyam Vadapitta Haram Param. Sahasra Yoga Gunapad. So the fruit pulp piece, the seeds are very hard, we can't take it. This pulp piece, Vadapitta Haram and Vriksham. So it will become red. When it is immature, it is green in color, like that. So Guduchi Patra is also mentioned as a Shagavarga, and it is considered to be a very important for Jwaraharakna and Kadutikta, Paga, Kadutikta Rasa, and Paga it is Madura, and it is Rasayani, Agni Deeptahara. So it is one of the very good leafy drug that can be used for various types of things like stomatitis and other things also. So now, is it any necessity to do some purification in this drug? Especially in the Kerala tradition and in South India, we are used to remove the external tok. Why it is needed? Because external tok is very rough, duksha and lagu. So Vayu is more predominant. Especially when you are preparing a Guduchi Sattva like that, we have to remove this. So if it is in a large quantity, is going inside, it is not good at all. So that's why it should be better to remove this, because it is very rukshatva and Vayu predominance, and then you have to remove and use it. Then it will increase the therapeutic principles and the rasayana quality will be increased. And moreover, this outer peeling is not at all good for our body also. Then by different anuvanas also we can use it. Jithesh will tell about this. So simple, we can say that one drug, you can change the anuvanas, then it will be having a multidimensional activity. Gridena Vadam, Saguda Vipantam, Pittam Siddhatya, Madhuna Kabascha, Vadasra Mugram Gurubataila Mishra, Shundya Amavadam. Like that, by changing this anuvana, we can use it. It shows that multidimensional property of a drug. Next, when you come to the market sample, most of the market samples are very dry like this. Because this is a drug which has to be mentioned by our Ajaryas for Ardra Vayujani. If it is not possible also, you have to think about the big stems which is not shrinken at all. But here you can see that in this photo, there will be nothing inside. Everything is shrunken. Because we know now, there will be an Akasha Tattva is very essential. So if Akasha Tattva has to be existed, it should be under the Prithvi and up. If this Adhisthana is not there, the Akasha Tattva, the physical entity will not be there. So that's why if an exhausted means if you press it, it will become very sponge like that. So if most of the informations, if you want more elaborately, you can go through the scientific validation and authentication of genuine market samples of Tenospora cordifolia published in Pharmacognosy Journal in 2009. It's discussing about a lot of things. So because of its wet nature, there are more fungus infections also possible. So that's why if it is possible, it can be used as a fresh. If it is not that, take good mature stems and cut it and dry it, and then we have to use it. So the microscopically findings also showing that there are plenty of other things. So when you do a microscopic difference, oval starch grains with the eccentric hilum is a very distinct feature in Tinospora cordifolia. If it is not there, then we can think that it is a mixture of some other things. Then phytochemical variations and comparative analysis of the pH and all these we can see. And it is very important to do the standardization, because once it is powdered, it is very difficult to identify that it is a CRISPR or sinensis. So we have to go for HPTLC or TLC like that, so that we can ensure the safety and efficacy. Because nowadays, the peoples, those who are collecting, not at all looking on the factors what we are discussed. Our Acharyas are looked into such an important factors of Panchbhaudika or physical analysis of a drug. Then they will select for the collections. So not only about this Amrita is a very important for phytoremediation. Why we have to remove the external skin? Because this is a plant which is having a lot of absorption of capacity to absorb arsenic that is present in the environment, especially if in the water. So this arsenic mitigation is 98% removal. So the scientists for researching regarding the phytoremediation to remove the excessive toxins from the water and land, they are telling that this Tinospora cordifolia is a very good drug for removing these things. Maybe this is excreting through these outer peels and through the leaves. So that's why this is one of the important thing we have to keep in mind, that should not collect these Guduchis from a industrial area or polluted area. Another important thing is it is a very important plant that can be used as a supplement for the poultry industry and in the cows or the domestic animal industry. Because if you add this plant with this, there are different studies are there. So many studies showing that it is a very important drug for maintaining the strength and the immunomodulatory activity of the domestic animals, especially those who are in the big farms. So they are mixing this with the feeds to the cows and the hens. It shows that they are having so much of immunomodulatory activity, so that they can reduce the load of using antibiotics to this. So this is a plant which is having an environmental importance. This is a plant which is having a animal care husbandry importance also. Another thing is it's a propagation. It's very easy to propagate. Select a stem which is very healthy, at least 15 to 20 centimeter long. And if you keep it near to the soils, don't dig it and keep it too much of deep to the soil, because we already discussed it. If you keep it in a particular height itself, this will produce a adventitious root and it will start to sprout. So you can make number of plants with very small cuttings. And initial care is not do too much of watering. If you are planting in the soil also, just it should be drainage of the water has to be done. And don't feed the water to every day. 3 days once is enough. Like that, once it is grown, there is no need of watering also. So those Amrita, which is growing in the neems, considered to be one of the very good thing also. So like that, this is one of the very important drug that can be used as a gardening plant also. So this photo is from FRLHT that Ganesh Babu sir has done some eco-friendly these types of walls with this. So it is one of the very good plant that can purify our air and the land and water also. So these types of things also, Guduchi is one of the important things. And you can see the flowers also, it is very beautiful. And at the same time, we can make pergolas, ladagrahas with this. So these types of things also possible with Guduchi. So it is an everlasting plant. So if you create these types of Lata grass, so overall, it is a plant, as Acharyas are mentioned, it is just like an Amruta to our nature. Not only for our humans, it is a very beneficial plant for various types of butterflies, and the same time for the animals sitting around us. And it is a very good for maintaining the environment, and the same time it will helps to give happiness when you create a garden and sitting under this plant. So it's our duty to grow this Amruta in and every house or every clinic near to that, so that we can use it in a fresh form and in a good form. So thank you one and all for patient hearing. I try to compile the things that are possible in a very nutshell with in this short time. So my time is allotted is 45 minutes. I hope I has concluded all the things in that manner. So thank you for patient hearing. If any questions is there, then we can see off that. Or after completing all these things, we can see. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Ajayan sir. It was really an interesting session. The depth of knowledge and practical perspectives have to be enriched our understandings. Now, let us take a quick glimpse into SNA Oushadhasala through a short video presentation. Please watch.
Of knowledge experienced in healing practices that has been passed down from generation to generation. The Trishul Taikatwas family holds a pivotal place in the history and practice of Ayurveda, the Indian traditional medicine. With the lineage that could be traced back to centuries, they are a treasure trove of knowledge and experienced in healing practices that has been passed down from generation to generation. Founded in 1920 by Ashtavaidya Trishul Taikad Unnimooss, SNA Oushadhasala stands as one of Kerala's premier Ayurvedic institutions. With over a century of legacy, SNA is committed to excellence in Ayurvedic medicine, clinical care, education and research. The roots of SNA trace back even further to generations of distinguished Vaidyas who served as royal physicians to the Zamarin of Kozhikode and the King of Cochin, while remaining accessible to the common people. Alongside their healing practice, these scholars propagated Ayurveda through the Gurukula tradition, preserving an unbroken lineage of wisdom enriched by their own experience. Over the decades, SNA has treated distinguished personalities, including former Prime Minister Guzaridalnanda, Ramana Maharshi, Meetha Patkar, and former President of Botswana, Festus Mogae. Today, the legacy continues under the leadership of Ashtavaidyan E.T.N. Vasudevan Moose, Chairman and Managing Director, preserving the tradition while embracing modern advancements. SNA functions through 4 core units: pre-processing, processing, sales, and marketing, which form the foundation of its operations. Complementing these are the nursing home, the Unnimooss Foundation, and the publication division, together representing key branches of the SNA corporate tree. Our manufacturing blends ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern technology, producing over 400 classical formulations, 50 proprietary preparations, and 25 patented products, including kashayas, arishtas, tailas, krutas, churnas, kashayam tablets, and ayur cream. All medicines are produced under the supervision of Ashtavaidyas, adhering to traditional Ayurvedic principles while meeting modern scientific standards. In 2025, SNA became the first Ayurvedic manufacturer in Kerala to receive the prestigious Set Silver certification from the MSME. The company was also honored with the Kerala Government's Industrial Safety Award in 2024. As part of its diversification, SNA has introduced Mranal, its personal care division, offering a wide range of Ayurveda-based personal care and beauty products. This brand reflects SNA's vision of bringing the essence of Ayurveda into everyday wellness and lifestyle. Our pre-processing unit at Aribur handles raw material collection, quality testing, powdering and grinding, which are then processed under hygienic conditions. From asavas and arishtas to modern innovations like Ayurveda, SNA continually develops new generation products while maintaining the highest standards of purity, safety, and efficacy. SNA reaches customers through 10 branches across Kerala and over 5,000 outlets in India. Our export division serves markets in England, France, Germany, Holland, Italy, Hungary, Slovakia, Mauritius, Malaysia, Russia, and other countries with packaging tailored to meet international standards. The SNA Ayurveda Nursing Home, NABH accredited, provides holistic care with specialized departments for general medicine, ophthalmology and ENT, infertility and gynecology, pediatrics, mental health, and thyroid and lifestyle diseases. All treatments are supervised by experienced panel of doctors led by the chief physician Ashtavaidyan E.T.N. Unnimooss. Following authentic Kerala Ayurvedic therapies, the Unnimooss Foundation trains Ayurvedic doctors and therapists in India and abroad through collaborations with reputed international institutions. Partners with Ayurvedic Point, Milan, Italy, and also collaborates with Veda Education, Russia, and the European Academy of Ayurveda, Germany, to promote authentic Ayurvedic education and practice worldwide. Guided by Ashtavaidyan A. Narayan Nambi, the foundation conducts national and international seminars, CME programs, and online courses, ensuring Ayurveda thrives academically across the globe. SNA's publication division has published Yoga Manjari, Parts 1 and 2, over 10 Unnimooss Dinam seminar books, and rare classical texts. Notable works include Vaidya Manorama and the Chikitsakama, preserving Kerala Ayurveda heritage for generations. Our CEO, Mr. Sridhar Ramanathan, serves as the director of the Ayush Export Promotion Council, Ayush Excel, under the Government of India, reflecting SNA's steadfast commitment to advancing Ayurveda on a global platform. As part of our sustainability initiatives, SNA has developed a mini forest on its campus, following the Miyawaki model, featuring a diverse range of Ayurvedic plants and herbs that reinforce our commitment to nature conservation. We also cultivate Ayurvedic raw materials organically, further strengthening our dedication to environmental stewardship. SNA organizes various seminars and academic programs throughout the year. Every year, December 1st is celebrated as Founders' Day, Unnimooss Day, in honor of its visionary founder. SNA's centenary celebrations, a 3-day event titled Shadotharam, were inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister Shri Pinarayi Vijayan, with Honorable Minister for Revenue and Housing Shri K. Rajan presiding over the function. The sessions in the following 2 days were inaugurated by Dr. Rajesh Kotecha, Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, and Dr. R. Bindu, Minister for Higher Education and Social Justice, Government of Kerala. The event featured a series of academic seminars attended by doctors and distinguished Ayurvedic scholars from across the country, along with vibrant cultural programs that add color to the celebrations. Keeping pace with the digital era, SNA products are now available through e-commerce platforms.
Thank you all for watching the video. Now, next, we have a brief session on SNA product featuring Guduchi and the usage insights. For this, I would like to invite Dr. Manish Mohan, GM Operations, SNA Oushadhasala, to take this forward. Welcome, sir.
I'm audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay. We are just this session. Today's session is regarding the Guduchi. It's a very much used medicines in our Ayurvedic formulations. Now I hear uh, um, just to see some of the products, specially prepared by SNA Oushadha. So some of the classical products, because mostly used in Kerala tradition, but some specific products in these sessions. And one is the Amruth Vrishabhadavali Kashayam. It's one of the it's in a Kashayam form, and it is mentioned in Sahasra Yogam. It is in Visarpa Vispodam. Amruta Vrishabhadavali Mustaka Saptavarnam Khadiram Asita Vetram Nimbavatram Haridre Vivida Visha Visarpan Kushta Vispoda Kandu Abanedi Masurim Shidavittam Juramcha. So it is a very much specialized or specialized medicine. It's a target-oriented medicines. It is specifically mentioned for Shidapitham and Jwaram and Masuri in blisters and Vispodam. So it is a traditionally used medicine, widely used in Kerala, and it is very much specific, and it is very much has been an effect on this antihistaminic action and anti-allergic actions. So, and this is about these indications: Visarpa, Pisha, Kushta, and skin diseases, Vispodam, blisters or pustules, then Shidapitham or urticaria, and Jwaram. So this is a very much used medicine, and it is in a kashayam form. It is in a presentable at a 200 ml packing also. And next is comes about Araguda Amardadi Kashayam. Araguda Amardadi Kashayam is a drug which is mentioned in Sahasra Yogam. Araguda Amurda Padhya Kadri Tam Prasadidam Tobvikaram Amalavitardehi Payam Devi Yadha Amurdam. So in this is a very much
Sorry, doctor, your presentation is paused, I think.
is it moving now?
Yeah.
Now slide is changing.
No. It is not showing, sir.
I think while making it slideshow, it has gone.
Okay, now it's moving, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Is it now changing? Slide.
We can't show your presentation.
Yeah, I think you can share the presentation now.
Is it now moving?
Okay.
No, it is not showing, Dr. Manish.
I think my
Can you see the presentation, Pinjo?
Yes, Nisha. Yes.
okay, again. Is it now changing the slide? Nisha?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So it is very beneficial for Togvigana and Amlavita. So it is very specific for Amlavitam. So the specific the specialty is that it contains only 4 drugs. So the combinations of 4 drugs, since the percentage of these drugs are very high. So the Aragudam, Guduchi, Haridaki, and Khadiram. So it is very much effective in this type of Tokvikara and Amlavitam. So Amlavitam, there are some medicines are very much less in our specific. So this is one of the widely used classical medicines, Ayurveda, Amrita, Kashayam. Its indications when it is skin disease and amlavitam and a pitta-related disease like chronic skin infections and excessive acidity and gastritis. So it is one of the kind. And another is one Guduchi Patradi Churnam. So it is a very specific classical traditional drug which is used in Kerala. It is from reference from Chikilsa Manjari. It's a traditional Kerala book. And Guduchi Patram Ishtiava and Shariba and Tilam. So these are the drugs in mentioned in this in Guduchi Patradi Churnam. And in traditional women, it's a unique Kerala specific remedy, and it's cooling churna is used for pitta predominant vadarekta and gout type of conditions, burning syndrome. That means the pitta conditions are more specific for this drug, and swelling and pain. And its usage is mix the powder with milk, and you can heat it and make a paste. And by heating it, you can make it a paste. And this paste, when the paste is got cooled, then you can add some ghee also, and then external apply that. Then it should be avoided in ama conditions. Ghee is avoided. So and another also you can add mahadita gridam or tikta gridam or shadoda gridam instead of plain ghee, along with this Guduchi Patrayurno, and it is very much specific in very cellulitis type of and very much highly pitta tenderness lesions. We can apply externally with the burning sensation. So pitta predominant burning sensation and swelling and pain. So then rubor calor pallor. So in these conditions, you can use this Guduchi Patrayurno for external application, and it's a very much specific drug for Vadarekta also. So this is one of the another Amruta, the oil. So I mentioned is Sahasrayogam. So actually the in Kerala tradition also always even though we are treating the medicine with the internally, there is a use of Murthadailam is very much widely used in Kerala. So for that indication, this Amruta, the oil is used. So it is made of kashayam. Amruta kashayam is used, and with kalkam with the chandanam, shariba, ushiram, all Sida Dravyas. And this is very much indicated in Vatarektam, Shirogadam, and Rektavitta Gradan, Roganashu Anya Subujidam. So it is specifically mentioned that Shirogada Vadapittam, Vadarektam. This medication is beneficial in such conditions with the gout head disorders with the severe headache and burning sensation over the head, then Vadarekta or gouty vascular conditions. So in Rektavitta, bleeding condition also it is used. Then you can use it as a Murthadailam. And in Shirorogam, it's head and scalp disease also. It is particularly for Vadapitta condition, Vadapitta disorders also. It is very much effectively used. So these are the four drugs that we are just to introduce, or mainly classical medicines that are prepared by SNA Oushadhasala into the markets. And these are all specific conditions, and you can use accordingly with the dosha analysis also. And this session is mainly indicated to just familiarize some more products that is classically and time tested products that already in our market, but we are not using. So that's why we are just presenting this type of classical oils and classical kashayams, or which has not widely used, but these are all very much specific drugs, so which have been used, which has been very effective drugs also. But nowadays, due to this our lack of knowledge on these formulations, it has been gone backward. That's why. So Samradadi oil for Vadarekta, Shirogada Vadarekta, and Guduchi Patradi Jurnam for external application, Vadarekta Haram, and then Dravyaguna Amrudadi Kashayam for Amalabitva and Vigaram, and Amruta Vishodaladi, very much for Visha, Kushtam, Visham, Vispodam, Kandu, and Masuri, and Sidavitam. So these are the drugs. Thank you.
Thank you for the information, Dr. Manish. We now move into the second academic segment, yogas and clinical applications, focusing on formulation strategies and their practical implementation in clinical practice. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jithesh MK, an accomplished Ayurvedic physician with over 19 years of clinical experience. He currently serves as the head of Quality Control Department at Kottakkal Ayurvedishala, one of the most respected institution in Ayurveda. A specialist in Rasasasthra, holds an MD in Rasasasthra and is widely recognized as a speaker, trainer, and an author with several national and international engagements and peer review publications. His areas of expertise include Guduchi include clinical protocols, formulation principles, Ayurvedic management of liver disorders, diagnostic and treatment approaches. Today he will share insights of Guduchi on its classical formulations, combination principles, dosha-based applications, clinical protocols and case studies, safety and Panchakarma integration. May I invite Dr. Jithesh MK to the second session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam, for the introduction. Hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So first of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers, especially Unnimooss sir, Narayan sir, and all others, because I'm really honored to be a participant in the prestigious Sameeksha, Oushadha Sameeksha. Of course, this was a prestigious program which were conducted by SNA a few years back regarding the Dravya Sameeksha. The unique approach of the seminars of especially this Unnimooss series was always different. Like they always categorize this as Roga Sameeksha, Oushadha Sameeksha, Pustaka Sameeksha, etc. So I'm really blessed to be a participant in especially in the first session of the even after the restarting this program. So whether it may be pharmacological or maybe clinical, whatever it may be, I'm fortunate to be there to be a participant in their almost all the ventures. So once again, thank you. So I would like to share my screen. Hope it is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Ajayan sir as well as Manish sir has explained everything regarding the pharmacology, even most of the areas of therapeutics also. So I think my part has almost 50% has been covered by the previous two speakers. And so the remaining few I would like to I would like to complete by within another half an hour. So of course we all know regarding this Guduchi, right? So more than if we consider or if we try to enumerate the formulations which contain Guduchi or this yoga which contain Guduchi from the classical Ayurvedic text, of course it will exceed more than 1,000. So even if we categorize as the popular one or the non-popular one or the markedly available one or the markedly non-available one, etc., still if we consider the popular combinations, the popular formulations which we come or which we use regularly, that itself comes more than 100. So I feel it is not possible to deal or to explain all the formulations in a single session. So actually, I would like to categorize this entire formulations which contain Guduchi in 3 or 4 groups based on their common properties, based on their indications, etc. So for me, so as of me, so there are different or 2 or 3 benefits by categorizing these formulations. First one is it will be more easy to understand the nature of the formulation, how the formulation works, or what are the pharmacokinetics or pharmacodynamics of the given formulation. That is the first one. The second one, if we categorize, so there's another added advantage for us. So we all are practitioners, right? So if one product is not available at a particular time in our clinic, so if we know the similar products, or if we know the products which are got similar, either similar ingredients or similar indications, it will be easy to substitute the medicines. As well as the third one, if we know by comparing the medicine, we will be able to reduce the number of medicines in the prescription, because we'll be able to avoid the repetitions. So the entire presentation, another 20, 25, 20, around 20 to 23 slides. So the formulations which contains Guduchi is being categorized and based on their characters. So let us go to the exact topic. See, if we consider Guduchi, it starts from the topic. It starts from the word. I'm sorry, there was a pause. I'll share now. So I think this was the slide previously that you could see, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, right. So let us focus. The first one we know, that is Nagaramrita Haritaginam, Nagahastanaina Ankribhagasa, Sadhu Siddhamudagam, Sasarkaram, Nasetya Kiladoshajam Jura. The second one is nothing but Guduchi Adikashaya. Pitta Sleshma Jura, Guduchi Patpakarishta, Dhanya Gorekta Chantana, Pitta Sleshma Jura Charti, Dahadrashnakna. And the third one, Ajayan sir just touched that point. That is nothing but from Medhyarasayanam. That usually we don't remember this, the Medhyarasayana portion of Guduchi, right? The property of that Guduchi. Manduka Parnyaswara Samyathatni, Shirena Yashti Madhugasya Jorvam, Rasam Guduchya Sahamola Pushpya, Kalkam Prayunji, that's a Sanko Pushpya. So the 4 Medhyarasayana, out of this Guduchi is also one of them. So basically, if we consider, this indicates, this slide covers the entire presentation. So the importance of Guduchi starts from Jora and ends with the last chapter, Rasayana. Right? Now, so in between, whatever may be, so we cannot leave a chapter Whether it may be in Charaka Samhita or Susruta or Ashtanga Hridaya, whatever it may be the text, we cannot leave a chapter or we cannot leave a disease in which a formulation without Guduchi is not seen. That's the importance of this Guduchi. So the profiling we will just see. Ajayan sir has explained this. So this is the profiling of Guduchi. Profiling in the sense, this is the characters of Guduchi. Or else we can say, this is the significance of Guduchi. Right? Tiktam Katucha Bhuishtam. So I'll just annotate that. So you can just think. The importance is nothing but the properties we know, which is Tikta Kadurasa, Ushna, Sniktha, as well as Laku. Then with Madhurya Vipaka. Sir explained completely. But still, I think this is the most important property of Guduchi. Of course, all it should be, it is Tikta, Katu, and Rasa predominant. So we know how a Tikta, Katu, Rasa predominant Dravya act. So we are expecting another property which doesn't comes in the same lineage, right? That is what's called as Vijita Pratyartha. So here, in case of Guduchi, it is nothing but, even though it is Tikta and Katu. So see, almost all the property, all the properties of almost all the Dravya with the Tikta and Katu is supposed to be Avrishya as well as Vatavarthana, right? But this is the importance of Guduchi, or this is the significance of Guduchi. Though it is Tikta and Katu, this is not Avrishya as well as this one increase Vata Kapha. Sorry, this one increase Vata Tosha. So Tiktam Katucha Bhuvishtam, Avrishyam Vata Gopanam, Krite Amruta Padolipya, Shundi, Krishna Rasonata. So these are the properties of our, or these are the characters of our plant or our fighter, we can say. So we are trying, or we are starting our battle against the disease, and the fighter is nothing but Guduchi. So we should know the property of that fighter, right? There will be some fighters will be there, different characters. Some of them will be highly aggressive. Some of them will be highly submissive. Some of them will be highly precise. So if a major, or if a brigadier, or if a minister want to send the apt fighter against the enemies, so the higher authorities should know the properties of the characters of that fighter. So here we are the authorities and the disease is the enemy, and our fighter is nothing but Guduchi. So we are fighting against the disease with these kind of properties. Now, so if we take the formulations, so as we explained previously, it starts from the Guduchi, the drugs start from Amrutotaram and ends with Methirasayana. So when we consider the common formulations, definitely, what are the common formulations which comes to our mind when we think of the plant Guduchi or Amrita? No doubt, it is Amrutotaram. The first one will be Amrutotaram. Maybe from the participants, maybe from Kerala or South India or North India, wherever it may be. The first drug which comes to our mind is nothing but Amrutotaram, and the second one will be Guduchi Adikashayam. So have you ever thought that the properties of this Amrutottaram as well as Guduchi, are they similar or are they different? If similar, what are the similarities they follow or they possess? If differ, what are the differences they possess? So the first one, now let us see this, start from this Amrutottaram and Guduchi. See the indication, Nasheti Akhila Doshajam Jwara from Amrutottaram. And Guduchi comes Pitta Sleshma Jwara Chardi Daha Trishna Khan Agnikrit. More indications are there. So, if we could identify what are the other medicines, so both are different, right? One is Agnikrit and Pitta Sleshmahara, Pitta Kaphasamana, and another one is Sannipada Samana. So, if we identify the other formulation which can included in the Amrutottaram group and the other formulations which can be included in the Guduchi group, the entire therapeutics with Guduchi or Amruta is finished. So now let us categorize both. Let us consider all the formulations which are available and let us categorize into two. So have you ever thought this about this Amrutottaram and Guduchi? As I explained, both are entirely different. One is Ushnam, another is Shita. Amrutottaram is Katu, Guduchi is Tikta. Amrutottaram is Anulomanam, Guduchi is Grahi. So entirely they possess the entirely opposite dimension. But still, their key drug is nothing but Guduchi. And there is another medicine called as Panchapatram Kashayam, which is being marketed by SNA Oushadhasala. I think SNA is the only so this Panchapatram falls in between Amrutottaram and Guduchi. Now, let us start from Amrutottaram. So, if so, now we have learned this. Amrutottaram is different from Guduchi, or Guduchi and Amrutottaram are entirely different. And from the previous slides, this Panchapatram comes in between the two. So, we should know where to prescribe Amrutottaram, where to prescribe Guduchi, as well as where to prescribe this Panchapatram. So let us see. So for identifying this, we need to know the properties. We need to analyze the formulation. If we know how to analyze a given formulation, it is very easy to prescribe them. So let us see. So there are two methods usually. We can follow these two. There are two methods we can follow. The first one is select the formulation. That is the common step. Then tabulate all the ingredients. Maybe if 3 or more, 4 ingredients are there, or maybe up to 5 ingredients are there. So we can tabulate everything one by one. We can find out the Rasaguna Virya and we can find out we can tabulate the entire one and we can reach to a conclusion. So this is possible only once if the formulations are smaller in number. If in case of large number, in the formulations which contain large number of ingredients or more number of ingredients, this method will not be applicable because there can be some kind of synergistic action which differs from their natural properties. So in such cases, so what we have to do is we have to see the indications, and we have to find out the connection between those indications. So if we could identify that connection between the indication, and that link will be the property of that medicine. So we'll explain it. In case of small ingredients, or the lesser number, the formulations with the lesser number of ingredients, the best method is to identify the key drug. So whether it may be the formulation with the 2 drugs or 3 drugs or 4 drugs or 5 drugs, there will be a single ingredient which decides the property of that entire formulation. All the other, maybe if we consider a 3 drug formulation, so there will be a flag drug. We can consider it as a flag drug or key ingredient. And the property of that formulation will be decided by that key drug. And the other drugs will be, or the other ingredients will have the supporting role. See, if we consider a cinema, so there will be a hero, right? And there will be some kind of supporting characters also. Some of them will be comedians, some of them will be characters, etc. So some of them will be the supporting, these ingredients will have the supporting characters. So we have to identify the entire movie. If we consider a movie, so that entire movie will be led by the hero, right? And there will be some villains also. The ingredients with opposite characters. That may be the inclusion of the ingredients with opposite characters, maybe to neutralize the excess efficacy of the key ingredient, the hero. So the movie will be led by that hero with the support of the other supporting characters. So just like this, so I will explain in the next slide. So we have to find out who is the hero or who is the key in a formulation. If we could find out that hero, so it will be easy to identify how the formulation will act, right? So if we know a hero in a movie, we can predict what will be the ending of the story of the movie, right? At least we may not be able to get the complete picture, but still we can get whether it may be it will be an action movie, or whether it will be a comedy movie, etc. We can identify from the character of the hero itself. So like that, from the character of the flag drug, we will get a generalized picture regarding the formulation. How? We'll see. We'll consider 3 formulations. One is Amruthotharam, the second one is Vyakriyati, and the third one is Balaguluchati. All these 3 formulations contain 3 ingredients only. Amruthotharam contains Nagara, Amruta, and Haritaki. Vyakriyati contains Vyakri, Haritaki, Vyakri, Shunti, and Guduchi. Balaguluchati contains Bala, Guduchi, and Devadaru. So all the 3 ingredients, only 3 ingredients are there. So we will find out we will see how to find out this flag drug, or how to find out the hero of the formulation. So let us see this Amruthotharam. The ingredients are Nagara, Amruta, and Haritaki. The formulation is, the ratio is 2:6:4. See the indication. The indication is Jwara. We know now Nagara or Shunti doesn't have much effect on Jwara. Haritaki also doesn't have much effect on Jwara. So what will be the key ingredient here? It is nothing but Guduchi. Guduchi is the hero here, and Nagara and Haritaki are the supporting characters in our movie named Amruthotharam. So you just see the the property of Guduchi. Guduchi Kaduga Dikta Swadubaga Rasa Doshatrayama Trutta Jura Pantuta. So here Guduchi is the key drug. The entire property of that formulation will be based on the property of Guduchi. Now let us see Vyakriyati. Though the indication is Jura only, but it's a different kinds of Jura. Ingredients are Vyagri, Shunti, and Amruta. And we know this formulation, right? Vyagri, Shunti, Amruta, Kvata, Pippali, Churna, Samyuta, Vada, Sleshma, Jura, Chanti. Yeah, Vada, Sleshma, Jura, the Kasa, Shwasa, Shura. So here the main indication is nothing but Kasa and Shwasa along with the Jura. So here we should, the key drug should be a drug which has got Kasahara as well as Swasahara properties. That is nothing but Nagara, or that is not Nagara or Amrita Guduchi, but the Vyakri. So here the hero in the movie named Vyakriyati Kashayam, the hero is nothing but Vyakri. And in this formulation, this Amrita and Shunti plays the supporting character, the role of supporting characters. Now let us see Balaguluchadi Kashayam with entirely different indication. In Chikitsa Manjari, there are different companies manufacture this Balaguluchadi Kashayam with a different proportion. I'm not going to the details of that. But still, when we consider the classical reference from Chikitsa Manjari, the reference is Balaguluchi and Devadaram. The ratio is 6:4:2. And the indication is Vatavyati as well as Vatarakta. Now just see what will be the key ingredient here, or who will be the hero in the movie named Balaguluchadi Kashayam. We know this Nigdham Grahi, Samira Raknam, Shatanasana, etc. are the property of Bala. And hence here the support, the Bala is the hero, as well as Guduchi and Devadaru plays supporting characters. So this is how, if we start analyzing each and every formulations in this manner, it will be easy to generalize, it will be easy to categorize the formulations. Now, let us see what are the properties of Guduchi when it comes to a formulation. So basically, the formulations which contain Guduchi can be divided into 4, as I explained previously. One is the formulation which has got the property of Kaphatika Sannipadasana. The second one, the formulations which has got a property of Pitta Kaphasamana. The third one, the formulation which has got a property of Vata Pitta Samana. And the fourth one, the formulations with Rasayana property. So now we will see what are the medicines which can act as Kaphatika Sannipadasana or Kaphasamana, in which the Guduchi becomes an ingredient. Hope it's clear what I'm explaining now. So see this Amrutotaram we have explained previously, Nagara Amruta Haridaki. And you can see this, which it's Ruksha, Ushna, and Kadu Tikta Rasa. So it is Kadu Tikta Rasa predominant with Ushna as well as Ruksha properties. So it should, so by these properties, what we have to identify, understand. It will not be a Pitta Samana. It will not be a Vata Samana too. So where we do focus, it should be Kapha Samana. Not only that Kapha Samana, by the presence of Haritaki, etc., the property of Anulomanatva, so that act as Vata Samana. So basically we can consider as this is the Sannipada Samana, either Kapha Samana or Kaphadika Sannipada Samana. So here comes the first group. The formulations which contain Guduchi with which has got the properties of Kadurasa, Rukshaguna, and Ushnavirya. Of course, this will be Pachana, this will be Jwarahara, and this will be Shulahara in nature. So what are the properties, what are the medicines which can include in this group? That is, the medicines which contain Guduchi with the properties like Katu, Ruksha, Ushna, and which is Pachana, Jwarahara, and Shula. Considers Rasna Panchakangashaya. Rasna Amrta Mahadaru Nagare Renta Jesatu. Saptadhatu Gate Vate Same Sarvanga Jepite. So here also the importance of Amrita. Same Sarvanga Jepite. Sarvanga Vata. Or Saptadhatu Gata Vata. So it's nothing but it should be, if a drug act as Saptadhatu Gata Ama, definitely that will be Pachana in nature, right? So a medicine which is Sitavirya as well as Madhura Rasa or Snigdha Guna, etc., will not act as Pachana. So that should have the properties of Katu, Ruksha, and Ushna. Next comes Rasna Saptagam. Right? Rasna Mrta Mahadaru, Rasna Panchagam, next comes Rasna Saptagam. Jango Rutraga Pushta Parsha Hanugam, Shopam Cha Vatasracha. Again with the same properties. Next comes the properties like, next comes the Rasnerandadi. Almost same only. Again, the main ingredient, one of the main ingredients is nothing but Guduchi. Then comes Punarnavadi. Punarnava Nimba Patola Shunti, Tikta Amrdadarvi Abhaya Kashaya. Sarvanga Shopodara Gulma Shulam, Shwasanyudam, Pandugadam Nihindi. Again, that cannot be a Madhura Rasa and Snigdha Guna, right? So that also comes under this category. Next comes Vyagriyadi. Vyagri Shunti Amrta Kvata, as we explained. That also comes under this Katu, Ruksha, and Ushna category. Next comes Bala Guduchi. Guduchi and Devadara overpower the Snigdha Guna of Bala, and hence that also can be considered included in this problem. So now we got the not only one medicine, one group of medicines we got with the same, almost same properties. That is Amrutottaram, Rasna Panchakam, Rasna Saptagam, Rasna Randadi, Punarnavadi, Vyagriyadi, etc. Now, a formulation which is Pitta Kapha Samana in nature. What will be the Guduchi Kashayam? Let us consider this Guduchi Kashayam as an example. Again, it is in the formulation itself, it is mentioned that Pitta Sleshma Jwara Chardi Daha Trishna Agni Kriti. So this is the typical indication which reduces Pitta Kapha Jwara, Daha, Chardi, Trishna, as well as it increases Agni. And in Sharngadhara Samhita, there is a typical indication for this Guduchi Kashaya. That is nothing but Guduchi Ganakvata Sarvajwara Smata. Deepano, Daha, Vralasa. Even though it is Pitta Kapha Samana, the Gana is Pitta Kapha Samana. So when it comes as Kashaya, Guduchi Gana Kvata, when it's being converted as Guduchi Kvata, that becomes Sarvajwarahara. So what are the properties here? So this is Tikta Rasa, Ruksha, and Shitavirya. At the same time, Pachana. Both Tikta and Katu Rasa can cause Pachana, right? The Katu Rasa Pachana can be done, has to be done in Kapha, the Sama Kapha, and the Tikta Rasa Pachana should be done in case of Sama Pitta. As well as this is Kleda Shoshana and Grahi. So what is, please don't consider this Grahi the one which causes constipation. Absolutely, that is not a different, it's a different entity. So the Ushnatva Drava Shoshaka, all this case of Drava Shoshaka proper, the medicines which has got Drava Shoshaka, that is considered as the Kleda Shoshaka. So it is Rukshana as well as Pachana. So this does Pachana by Kleda Shoshana as well as Tiktarasa. So the medicines like Shatavari Chinnaruhadi. See the indication. Chinnaruha is nothing but Guduchi only. Shatavari Chinnaruha, Amala, that contains Bala, Ikshurasa, Kanda Ikshu, etc. Kinds of all the kinds of Mathura Rasa and Shita Virya Dravyas, but indicated in Vatarakta. Then comes Pachanamritam Kashaya. It is also Tikta Rasa, Shita Virya, and Pachana. It comes Patola Kadrohinyati Kashaya. Tikta Rasa, Shita Virya, and Pachana. Next comes Vashaguduchi. Vashaguduchi Tribala Kattu Punim Panimpacha. That comes Shita Virya, Tikta Rasa, and Kleda Shosha. Manish sir explained Araguthamradadi very well. Araguthamradapatya Khadire Samprasadita. Tuk Vigaram Amla Vittescha. So again, this also Tikta Rasa and Shita Virya. Then comes Amrita Shadangam. That is nothing but from Shadangam, the Shunti is being replaced. Shadangam we know, Khana Chantana Shunti Appu, Parpadoshi Rasati. So out of this, Shunti is being, when the Shunti is being replaced by Amrita, that again that becomes more Jurahara and more becomes Tikta Rasa. So this is the second group. The group which contain which has got the properties like Tikta Rasa, Rukshana, and Shita Virya. So we have got the second group. The first one is Kadu Rasa, like Rasna Panjagam, Rasna Sattagam, etc. Rasna Irandadi, etc. Here comes the Guduchi, the Shatavari Chandaruladi, Vasha Guduchi, Amruta Vashapatoladi, everything comes here. Now, a formulation which is Vata Pitta Sama. It is very rare actually. That is Panjabhadram Kashayam. It explained in Sharangadhara Samhita. The basic reference is Sharangadhara Samhita. So, Guduchi Parpadam Musta Kairatam Vishwabheshaja. Panjabhadramidam Vata Pitta Jwarapa. Typically, it is indicated. So, you may feel a doubt. Almost all these are Tikta Rasa. So, how does it become Vata Samana? That's a kind of, we may get a doubt that how does this becomes Vata Samana in nature. So, it's nothing but what probably this could be Pitta Vrata Vata. That is Tikta Rasa and Shita Virya is the treatment line in case of Pitta Vrata Vata. So basically, this is how this causes Vata Samana. So this comes the Vata Pitta group, the third group. The first one is Kaphadika group. The second one is the Pittadika group. Means the first one is Kaphadika Sannipata group. That comes Amrutottaram, Rasnayarandadi, Rasna Panchagam, etc. The second group is the Pitta Kapha Samana. That comes Guduchi, Shatavari Chinnarugadi, Araguthamradadi, etc. The third group is Vata Pitta Samana. That is nothing but Panchaputra Kashaya. Now, a formulation which is Shamana as well as Rasayana. It's nothing but the very common formulation in which Guduchi becomes the chief ingredient. Oh, we may not remember that actually, but still, the key ingredient in that formulation is nothing but Guduchi. You can see this Kaishora Gudu. So the Kaishora Gudu is nothing but Triphala. All this Triphala together, this in combination, it is one prastha each. One prastha Guduchi. And again, Gugulu is the another one prastha. So what becomes here the key drugs here? It's nothing but the first one is Gugulu and the second one is Guduchi. And just see the indication. Vataraktam Tridoshacha. And Handi Sarvamaya Nityam Upayukto Rasayana. So this is a formulation in which Guduchi becomes the key ingredient and the one which is Vadarakta Samana or Tridosha Samana as well as Rasayana in nature. So here comes the fourth group. So the first Amrutottaram group, the second one is Guduchi group, the third one is Panchapatram group, and the fourth one is Kaishora Gugulu. Now, the formulation which is, this is Shamana and Rasayana. And now the formulation which is Rasayana only. That is nothing but simple Guduchi Swarasa. I have told in the beginning, that is Manduka Parnya Swara Samyathagni, Shirena Yashti Madhugasya Churna, Rasam Guduchi Samula Pushpya, Kalkam Prayunjita Shanku Pushpya. So out of this, we bluntly we use this Manduka Parni, Shankapushpi, Yashtimathu, etc. as Methi Rasayana. But we hardly use Guduchi. We hardly consider Guduchi as a Methi Rasayana. And hence, so I would say this Guduchi is the most underrated Methi Rasayana by us. Now, when we see Guru in the scenario of Vadarekta, without mentioning the Vadarekta, Vadarekta Chikitsa, we cannot conclude the presentation on Guduchi, right? Because Guduchi is the Agre Oushadha of Vadarekta. How? So Amruta, just see this reference from we will compare this reference from Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Kritaya. So in Ashtanga Sangraha, it is Amruta Sangrahaniya Deepaniya Vata Sleshma Shonita Vibandha Prasamananam Sleshta. And when it comes to Guru, Ashtanga Kritaya, it is Guduchi, Vata Astragogi, just Vata Shonita or Vata Vyadhi as well as Rekta Javakogi. So here, how does it act? So, Rekta Margam Nihandyasu, Shakha Sandhishu Maruta. This is the pathology here. Niveshya Anyonyam Avarya. The avarana is happening here. That is, there can be two kinds of avarana. That is, the Rekta, the movement of Vata can be blocked by Rekta. At the same time, the movement of Rekta can be blocked by Vata too. That's what Niveshya Anyonyam Avarya. So here comes the importance of Ushna Guna, as well as Katurasa, as well as Riku Ruksha Guna, the importance of these properties. Now, Ajayan sir explained this, the Guduchi Prayoga in Vadarekta. Chakradatta explained clearly, that is Swarasa, Kalka, Kwatha, even Churna, how to modify the properties of Guduchi with the specific Anupana. Gritena Vata. In Vada Vyadhi, Guduchi Swarasa or Guduchi Kalka or Guduchi Kwatha with the Krita. Sagudam Vibanthe. In case of Vibantha, Guduchi with the Guda. Pitte Sitatya. In case of Pittadhika Vadarekta, Guduchi with the Sita. Kap Madhuna Kaphena. In case of Kabhadhika Vadarekta, Guduchi combinations with the Madhu. Whether it may be Amrutottaram, whether it may be Rasnirandadi, whether it may be Rasna Panchaka. The same can be applied here. Whether it may be Samshamani Vati, the Guduchi Sattva, that is Samshamani Vati. Then Vadasram Ugram Ruputaila Misram, in chronic deep-rooted Vadarekta with air and Taila. Shundhyama Vadam, Janets Guduchi, Jets Guduchi. In case of typical Amavata, Guduchi with Shundi. So this is how, this is the entire scenario of Vadarekta Chikitsa. Vadadhika Vadarekta, Pittadhika Vadarekta, Kabhadhika Vadarekta, then Gambhira Vadarekta, and Amavata. So every verb in each and every entity, without Guduchi, we cannot conclude this treatment. Now, the treatment, we know this treatment protocol. Two drugs we know, the treatment protocol, that text. Right? What are the common medicines we use in Vadarekta? One is Guduchi and another one is Kokilaksha. Right? Both are entirely different in their properties. Guduchi is thick. So without comparing this Kokilaksha, we cannot complete the presentation on Guduchi. Because we need to know the difference in therapeutics. So this Tikta, Katu, Ushna, we know this, what are the properties of Guduchi. This Tikta, Katu, Ushna, Snigdha, Lagu. And in Kokilaksha, we just see, it is Madhura, Snigdha, Pichila, Guru, Shita. So by seeing these properties itself, so we can identify, we can understand that the placement of Guduchi, placement of Kokilaksha in Vadarekta scenario, right? We cannot start the treatment of Vadarekta with the Kokilaksha. Even though it is mentioned as Kokilaksha and Yuhopidatta Shaga Pojana. Kribabhyasaiva Krodham Vadaraktam. We cannot start this Vadarakta Chikitsa with the Kokilaksha. At the same time, we can start the Vadarakta Chikitsa with the Guduchi. So the entire Vadarakta Chikitsa starts from Guduchi, the combinations of Guduchi, and ends with the Kokilaksha, which is Brahmana, Vrishya, Rasayana in nature. So it starts from Guduchi, the entire scenario the treatment starts from Guduchi and ends with the Kokilaksha. So this is the exact placement of Guduchi. So these are the common. Now we will see some of the common properties of external applicants. Manish sir explained this Guduchi Patradi later. Again comes Vadarakta. Balaguluchi Adi Tailam. Again, that is Sada Edat Sadaham Sarujam Sashokam. Then Amrutadi Tailam, explained by Sir. Nihandyasu Vadaraktam Shirogatam. So from Pachanam to Lepanam, we cannot avoid Guduchi in the treatment of Vadarakta Chikitsa. So where is the placement? So within 2 minutes we will conclude. So where is the placement now? Not only in Vadarakta. This is now the next slide. What I'm going to explain is not the Vadarakta Chikitsa, but the same line can be followed in the entire treatment line, other diseases also. So Guduchi can be used as Pachana, as the Amrutottaram group. Guduchi combinations as Samanam, that is Guduchi Adi group, and Guduchi as Rasayanam, that is either Kaishora Gugulu or this Rasam Guduchya Sahamula Pushpya. So from Guduchi to, from Amavatam, Jwaram to Rasayana. The one and one only, Amrita. From Jwaram to Vadarakta. We cannot find a chapter in which Guduchi, in which we were a formulation without Guduchi. Whether it may be Sama to Rasayana Avastha, Guduchi is unavoidable. Maybe from Ruksha to Sniktha, Guduchi is unavoidable. From Ushna to Shita, Guduchi is unavoidable. So Guduchi act as, finally we can conclude as Guduchi act as a catalyst as well as act by its own properties. And have you ever thought another interesting factor? Actually, I don't know the answer for this question. But still, this is an interesting factor which came to my observation. There are enough number of Kashaya Yoga with Guduchi. N number of Taila Yogas are available. N number of Grada Yogas are available. Avaleha, Arishta, so many Yogas are available. But in the market, the churna in which Guduchi is an ingredient is comparatively very, very, very less. Absolutely in the market it's not there, I can say. The churnas which comes into our common prescription. You just think, why can't we Acharya include Guduchi in Shadharana? Right? Chitragendreva Patha Kadugati Vishapaya. Why didn't he include this Guduchi as churna? Maybe with Vaishwanara, Guduchi could have been included. With Avibhatti, Guduchi could have been included. But why didn't he did like that? That I think. And interestingly, there is another Churna Yoga called as Nimbadi Churna explained in Vadarakta Chikitsa of Vaishcharitnavali. There are so many ingredients are there, more than 15 ingredients are there. And Acharya explained as you powder all these ingredients and take complete inside along with the Anupana, Chinna Kwadhena Tatsevyam, along with the Guduchi Kwadha as Anupana. Why couldn't he include this Guduchi also in between the other, among the other ingredients? There will be some points. So let us consider, I put forward this as fuel for thought for the scholars of this platform. I know there are scholars like Vasadevan sir, Nambi sir, and many others are there. So let us consider this as a fuel for thought. And once again, I explain my sincere gratitude for giving me an opportunity to be a panelist in this. Thank you. I am sorry if I didn't exceed my time.
Thank you, Doctor, for that highly valuable and clinically enriching session. We now move forward to the discussion and Q&A segment. We warmly invite our respected participants to share their questions, seek clarifications, and contribute their clinical experiences, if any. Our panel expertises are available to reply to it. First, we will start with Jithesh Doctor's question itself, right?
Ajayan sir, is there any possibility, sir?
I think there will be a presence of Ushita.
Ajayan sir.
Is it now audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there will be a presence of Guru Snigdha is a very important part in this Guduchi. So once it will become a churna form or a dry it, so it will lose. So that's why I think Acharyas are more fond of these types of formulations, which is having such type of a preservation in the form of Apya Tattva or in the form of Grida or like that. I think one of the cause is there. And another important thing is the churna must always take a long period and it is having some type of a Prathya Adhisthana is more. So whatever the Prathya Adhisthana is present in the Guduchi is a little bit khadina. So when we break it also, we can feel that one. So it is too fibrous. So such type of fibrosity also may be one of the cause of that. So that's why we are going for Guduchi Sattva. So once we will remove such type of an important particle with a base of Prathya Adhisthana, which is sedimenting on the lower part. So all the Tikta Rasa will be go. So because we are getting the lower sedimenting, is Adobhaga predominant Mahabhudas. The other Mahabhudas like Vayu, Agni or Agash, especially Agash and Vayu will go and we will get the more predominant of. So that Guduchi Sattva is Madhura Rasa. And it is having Madhura Vibhaga and Ushna. So more Rasayana. So like that will be in a powder form is okay. So I think maybe that is the one of the cause that Acharyas are restricted in that.
Thank you, sir.
So I think one question was there. Can I go for that?
Yeah, sure, sir, you can.
Yeah, one question was from Dr. Priya, like that there will be Vijitra Pradyarabdha. Why almost all Dravyas are having a Ushna Virya and Madhura Vibhaga, like that Vijitra Pradyarabdha. It's not like that. There are so many other Dravyas also there, which is having Shida Virya and having Madhura Vibhaga like that. So if you look into Sariva, there are Bella, Amalaki, all are having such Shida Virya and Madhura Vibhaga. So it is not like that. Both we need. We needed some Ushna Virya, Madhura Vibhaga Dravyas as a Vijitra Pratyarabdha and Shida Virya Dravyas as Madhura Vibhaga. Because that is the thing that happening in the body, that different types of permutations and combinations of these dosha samurjana is occurring. Another thing is why it is Madhura Vibhaga. So Madhura Vibhaga, we are thinking about the karma nishtaya. So whatever the karma which is showing after the end of the Mala Nishkramana is called as Vibhaga. So wherever there will be a Srishta Vinmutram is there and it is showing the karmas that similar to a Madhura Rasa, then that will be considered as a Madhura Vibhaga. So that is why we are considering this as a Madhura Vibhaga somehow. So why it is happening all these things? Because of that only. So for that purpose, the Acharyas come across with one of the two important illustrating methods, that is the Vichitra Pratyarabdha and the Samana Pratyarabdha. So to discuss this only, they came with this contrast of Samana Pratyarabdha and Vichitra Pratyarabdha. So the name itself is indicating that Pratyaya Arabdham, when it is starting, when a material matter is starting its combination of joining of these Mahabhutas, it is in a uniform manner, then it is a Samana Pratyarabdha. But we can't explain or we can't imagine how it will be joining together, and we can't explain this in the name of a Rasa, Guna or Vidya or Prabhava, because all are different things. That is happening because when it is started, the life in the Arabdha, first starting itself. So this Panchikarana, when it is starting of a Dravya, that itself is taking place. That's why some of the Dravyas after Agni is Paga, it is converting into another Mahabhuta predominance, and it will be responding to our body. So I think that is why they consider it in that manner, like that. So this is the one question I think asked to me. The other thing is there.
Regarding the Patolakadrohinyati Kashayam is no doubt it is a Samana Yoga only. It is not Shodhana. Because you can see this indication, Nihanti Kapha Pitta Kushtajwaran Visham Vamim Arochakam Kamala. All these ingredients, all these indications doesn't need this Shodhana, or does not a Shodhana or Harokas. So it is nothing but typically a Shamana Yoga only. Shira Guduchi importance. To be frank, I'm against the use of this Shira Guduchi or the conversion of Shira Guduchi, because the properties of Kshira Bala is there. The properties of Bala and Kshira are almost similar. So it can be mixed together and it can be processed together. At the same time, the properties of Guduchi and Kshira are entirely different. And definitely there is a chance of neutralization. And the synergetic action will be completely different that we expect in case of like this Kshira Bala. So Kshira Guduchi, as of my identification, or as of my knowledge, it is not a wise combination. Maybe in Vata Rakta, maybe it may be used by physicians, but still theoretically that cannot be agreed. Then below is the role of Guduchi in autoimmune disease, which formulation will work. And sir, that depends upon the conditions. There are different kinds of autoimmune diseases are there, right? So maybe something, maybe SLE or some other scleroderma, or depends. The chronicity, the duration, as well as the success of the treatment depends on the chronicity of the disease mainly, and the grade of the disease, how many systems are involved, etc. So many other factors are involved in that. So most of the autoimmune disease will be multiple system involved. So that we have to consider all these matters. So we cannot say a blind word in this, or it's a blanket word for this question. Kaishora Gugulu and Amruthadi Gugulu, since both contain Amruta as a major ingredient. Yes, basically Kaishora Gugulu, this Amruthadi Gugulu doesn't have this Rasayana property. It is more of Shamana in nature, and Kaishora Gugulu is more of Rasayana in nature. Punarnava Kadurasa, Punarnava is Tikta Kadurasa Prathana. Tikta Rasa is the main one. Punarnava Dikashaya, that becomes Tikta Rasa Prathana. I think
one question is there, sir. Dr. Priyanka is again asking the difference between Prabhava and Vichitra Pratyarabdha. So here we have to look on the Acharya's concept. Why Acharya created Prabhava? Why Acharya created Vichitra Pratyarabdha? So these are the concept of the theories that's put forth by our Acharyas. So where this Prabhava will comes? Dravya Asraya Lakshanam Panjanam, to discuss the Dravyas, actions and their properties. Prabhava is K. So Rasa, Guna, Virya, Prabhava, all are the Panja Lakshanas that is existing in a Dravya. So it doesn't mean that if you don't know about a Prabhava of a Dravya, this is not there or not, we don't know. Because if Ajantya Virya is there, at our Karma Shrestha is there in a particular thing, we have to name it as a Prabhava. So the Prabhava is a component that is existing in the Dravya. Vichitra Pratyarabdha or Samana Pratyarabdha concept, where it is coming means to discussing about why it is so happening. Why a drug which is having these similarities will produce this, or these dissimilarities will resulting in this. Pratyaya Arabdha. So we have to restrict each and every concept where, for what purpose Acharya has created, that is also important. Simply comparing Prabhava with Vichitra Pratyarabdha, nothing will yield. So these are the context of the theory and formations of all these things is very important.
One question is there. Can we have Guduchi Patra Swaras daily in how much quantity?
Patra, Swarasa and Kalka can be taken. So better is the terminal leaves we have to take, the tender leaves. So tender leaves within 5 grams to 2.5 to 5 grams can be taken is good. It can be taken along with little madhu is also an ideal thing. So like that we have to select it. To mature leaves, it's not that much good as a daily intake. Otherwise, we can take it in the form of a kalka or this one. So especially when the stomatitis and recurrent gastric problems are there, chewing of terminal leaves, 1 or 2 leaves early in the morning will be very much good for the healing of the wounds and giving, because these leaves are containing so much of micro elements like B12, like that, vitamins and magnesiums is the present. So like that compounds are there. So it is a very good for our body also. But anything, if it is consumed excess, because we already discussed, Sara also told, there will be more Tiktarasa Pradhana. Excessive intake of these Tiktarasa even from the Tinospora cordifolia also, it is not at all ideal. That's why whenever you see, there are a lot of descriptions and Anumanas are mentioned. Singly, we are not using, only on the Patra, Kalka or this Shagavarga, it is using as it is like that, making into a Samskaranam and using. Otherwise, single drug usage is associated with some other things only, especially Guduchi in terms of Guduchi.
Sir, Tejaswini HJ has asked for, sir, can it be used regularly in patients with Tamaka Shwasa with special reference to COPD, and in which form will be better for daily use?
In such type of conditions, what it is there needed is the Shodhaharatva, because there will be an edema like that, things will be there. So we have to look on such type of drugs which can reduce it. This Amrita is not having that much of so much of Shodhahara property. So it is a very good Sangrahi, can prevent the excessive, but it is not able to remove whatever the things that is already existed. So once there will be a lot of Shodha and edema is there, this Amrita can't be do good things. That's why we need some other combinations. So we will join that with some other things that can do like that. So Dashamula combination with Amrita is a good choice in such a type of COPD like conditions. So other than that, only Guduchi can do, it's not that much possible in such type of conditions.
One more is there. I don't know whether it is a statement or something like that. If arsenic is accumulated in its bark, the wrong use of the bark in Ayurvedic medical preparation cause heavy metal problems. It is a question. Nowadays, allopathic doctors in FB and other medias talk about toxicity and all.
So one of the important thing we have to see, we can't claim that all the things, because there are so much of pollution and all these things are occurring, and we are collecting the plant from such type of habitat, means it may lead to these things. So that's why the collection Oushadha Sangrahana also this. So the doctors also has to, or those who are preparing the medicines also take the responsibility that this has to be looked at. And another thing is there will be that much of solid studies reports are not there that is excreting through the outer coverings. So there are some preliminary informations only. We have to standardize it. So maybe I think that is not that much good, that external covering. That's why Ajaryas, especially in South India, we will remove that and using for that purpose. Anyway, this is one of the serious issue that there will be a chances of these types of accumulations in these types of plants, because this is a plant which is constantly exchanging the things with the surrounding environment. So we told no, chinna, ruva, chinna. So it is always taking something from the moisture. So because it has present so much of lenticels. So lenticels are small opening. Through these opening, it can able to do the expressions and can absorb the moisture from the air. So through that, it can absorb so many unwanted things also. And it can be converted into another forms. So because of its deciduous nature, the leaves will be shed off and again growing. It has a capacity to shed off through the leaves also. So these are the possibilities are there. So we have to look on the place where we are collecting is also a very important thing. Then, so one question is there that regarding the hepatotoxicity, particularly in female patients of rheumatoid arthritis. I have seen a drug-induced hepatitis after taking Amruthotram Kashayam. So that is some of the things that sometimes, if already there will be an existing autoimmune problem related to the liver is there, and that is already flare up in that particular organs or in the symptoms. So, and long terming, they are taking some medicines, or the body is susceptible for such type of things. And again, we are going for some type of medicines that can trigger up these conditions. So we have to look on that aspect, because more than a pharmacologically activity predominant in a plant selection or a yoga selection, we have to look into the different combinations. As now Jithesh are presented to various combinations. So why Acharya put all these in different types of combinations? Because Guduchi is tagged with a certain type of drugs, then it property that will be ideal to that particular condition. So looking on the lakshana of the patients, we have to think about this. Otherwise, sometimes all the medicines in Guduchis and Amruta, it is not at all not work, because the Adhikarana, where it is acting, is capable to compensate that also a very important thing. So like that, we have to look on that. So Acharya has told Kridayana Vadam, Saguda Vipandam, Pittam Siddhatya. Why, if it is so? So looking into the different lakshanas, we have to change the drug that can carry or that can nullify the unwanted gunas that are present in that drug, or to increase the gunas that are essential to that. So like that, we have to think.
What is the dosage of Swarasa of Guduchi in Alparakta cases? Vaidya Surya Narayana has asked for this.
5 to 10 ml we can give. Here also, simply by Guduchi, it's a very severe Vadarakta like that. We can't do that. But the combination of Guduchi with the Shadavari is mentioned. So such type of combinations we can. We are going for only with Guduchi, it will not be having that much. So, and another Vadarakta Hara Dravya, which is having a Shidatva, has to be tagged along with that. Then only it can promote that. So that's why if you see that there are so much of combinations of Grita preparations are there in Raktavada with Gudujiva.
Same, Dr. Asas. In Visargam, in 13 years aged male patient, what is the dosage and how much Kala Vyadhi? Kala Vyavadhi.
So Visarpa, in which type of Visarpa we have to look on. Generally, if you are speaking, then we can give it in the form of a Kashaya with a little bit of Guda. So that will be 10 to 15 ml or 10 to 20 ml also we can give that one if it is in the fresh form. If you are taking Guduchi in the fresh form, 10 to 20 ml is good. If it is in a dried Kashaya, I think it will be good for up to 30 ml we can go. Anyway, we have to accumulate it with a little bit of Guda to that is an ideal thing.
Amruta, how works in Ojas Alpa in all ages?
As it is, so the Guduji, Madhuyukta Guduji, it is told now. So it has to be taken along with honey, then it will be having a stabilities, will help. So with that, we can go for that. Sir can give more on that aspects if it is. Either sir.
Sir, probably the just with the Madhura Snigdha or the Madhura Vipaka as well as the what we say, that could be the main reason for that. Right, sir. Always due to if it is act as Rasayana, it should be for getting effective, like just say that should have the property of Rasayanatva. So it's being act as Rasayana by its most probably that will be by its Madhura Vipaka only. So that could be the reason. That's what we can assume. And always it's better not to, as sir explained, better not to give whether it may be Swarasa or whether it may be Churna or anything. Even it may be Sattva also. Better to give it with the proper Anupana, maybe Krita or maybe with the Mathu, etc. Different Anupanas can be selected and that can be used. This Anupana, the selection of this Anupana can be based on the condition or the purpose what we need, what to cater. So that would be the better method.
One more question is there by Mr. Vinod Mithar. Role of Guduchi in skin diseases.
Of course, it is very much important. Almost all these Tiktarasa Dravyas are quite important in the skin disease, and Guduchi is one among the Tiktaskanda Dravya. That too, without, as I explained previously, the one which won't cause Vadavriddhi. So, of course, most of the Dravya, most of the medicines which we use in the skin in the treatment of skin disease, whether it may be Patolakadrohinyadi, maybe Guduchiadi, maybe Tiktakam, maybe Mahatiktam, everywhere, Vajragam, wherever it may be, Guduchi is one among the ingredient. Aragudhadi, Guduchi is one among the ingredient. So without any medicine without Guduchi, that is very difficult to treat the skin disease of Pitta and Kapha origin. May not be needed in typical Vatika Kushna, but without, in case of Paitika and Kaphaja or Pitta Kaphaja predominance, that without Guruji, we cannot select a formulation.
Two persons has raised Mr. Shaisi like. Please raise your question.
Hi, doctor. You can unmute yourself.
Dr. Vishnupriya. If anybody wants to raise any questions, you can raise your hands. You can unmute yourself and ask questions.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Vishnupriya.
Uh,
Vishnupriya. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Would like to ask, ma'am, sir, regarding this sattva, Guduchi sattva, generally it is practiced in all the treatments and formulations we add with add-on. So basically, why it is taken in sattva form? I'm recently I'm treating a patient who has a symptom like always complaining about early morning after wake up, she feels lot of cough in her throat, and since the day she got one fire accident, after the sattva intake in the early morning, her throat is getting completely cleared. But how it is this mode of action is actually working, and how can we exactly tell that Guduchi sattva it is made in that form continuously, like other drugs are not made in sattva form? Why this is given so much priority and importance?
So Guduchi is one of the drug which is having Tikta Kashaya Kadurasa. So here you can see that Tikta, Vayu Akasha, Kashaya, Prithvivayu, Kadurasa, again Vayu and Tejas is there. So there will be, if you see the total things, if you make it, then the Vayu is the very predominant in this. Akasha also there. Prithvi is very limited to Kashaya Rasa. So this Prithvi Tattva, only if you want to take it out, then we will go for a particular samskarana. So what we are doing here, we are doing a crushing of the things in an Aptattva predominant. So always Aptattva is capable to take out this Prithvi Tattva and other Tattva can be separated. So Prithvi Adhisthana Ambu Yoni. So Yunakta Idi Yoni, one which can do the bindings. So then what will happen? The other Laguna, that is physical matters which are very light in nature, will dissolve in the water and will go upwards. The physical matters which are having the predominance of Guru Snigdha and all these things will settle down. So that's why when you take the Guduchi Sattva in the proper form, the rasa is Madhura Rasa. And it is having a Laguna. So that will be dried off, it will be having Laguna, and at last it will be a Madhura Vipaka also. So it is specifically mentioned for the activities of Chashusha, Medhya, and Vayasthavan. These are the three indications Acharya mentioned for Guduchi Sattva. So if we want such type of a pharmacological activity, this will be a very good thing. So in other sense, if we want to do some Rasayana and other things, we have to go for some other Rasayana qualities. So as you told now, there will be a provoking of kapha is there inside. Sometimes.
Yes, sir.
So that's why the Anupana Madhu has came. So why Acharya is mentioned about this means because of the Guru Snikthatva. It is a predominant of this Guru Snikthatva. It is always chances to produce more Sniktha Pichila Gunas or Guru Sniktha Gunas. So to remove that, we need a Kashaya predominant Madhurasa Dravya, which is having a similar pharmacology. This is also an important thing. So any drug which can do like this Kashayam is not at all using. So like that, a similar pharmacological drugs here. So whenever we are selecting, we have to think about two important factors. One is the Dravya is having a very important Srodha Pratinigata. So it has always the Dravyas which is having a predominant action, has having a peculiar affinity to particular things. So that Srodha Pratyanigatva associated with another important thing is Dosha Pratyanigatva. So these drugs are, each drug are having a specific activity on particular doshas. So that will provoke something. So to balance that Dosha Pratyanigatva, we have to add some Anubanas or some other Dravyas that can be very close to that. So likewise, our Acharyas are made the yogas. So yogas or the single drug or two drugs therapy is also made like inwards. So this is the thing that created by Acharya by looking into the dosha, dushya, desha, and adhikarana, where it is there, and the kala. With that, we have to think about these things. So if it is a pitta prabala vadarakta, then Guduchi is kashayams like that is mentioned like that. So there are very specificities there. So where there will be more vada predominant, and we need some rasayana also, Guduchi Sorasa has to be given along with Shira and Taila is mentioned. Especially Charagacharya is mentioning about this Charaga in Vadarakta Chikitsa. Like that, association of the Dravyas are very important when we give, depending upon the patient's conditions. So that's why we can't predict a medicine for a particular condition. We can't roughly say that Amruth is a very good autoimmunomodulatory drug. So we have to give Amruth in all the autoimmune diseases. So we have to look into that, which time this will be a good thing for this, and associated with which are the things we have to add on that. So that way we have to look.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all. I think as we come to the close of today's session, it is truly been enriched academic experience filled with valuable insights and meaningful discussions. To conclude the program, I would like to invite Mrs. Nisha Sunil, Manager DM and E-Commerce of SNA, to deliver a vote of thanks. Nisha.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. As we come to the end of this insightful session, it's my privilege to propose a word of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed speakers, Professor Dr. Ajayan Sadanandan and Dr. Jithesh MK, for sharing their valuable knowledge and expertise. Heartfelt thanks to the organizing team of SNA Oushadhasala for their dedicated efforts in planning and executing the webinar successfully. We also appreciate the support extended by all collaborators and technical teams who work behind the scenes. We hope this session has provided you with useful insights and inspired further exploration into the science of Ayurveda. Thank you all once again for being a part of Oushadha Sameeksha. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you all for your active participation. Oushadha Sameeksha is scheduled on the next Friday of every second Friday of every month, and we look forward to your continued presence. We are delighted to invite you all to our next session of Oushadha Sameeksha on 8 May 2026, where we will explore another important topic, Chitraga. Thank you. Thank you for all.
Thank you, ma'am.